Hello, my pool playing friends. How have you been? It has been a while. In fact, 2 weeks to the day since I posted my last video, which was kind of a fun one. I'll put a link to that here. For those of you who don't know, I've been sick off and on, had some pretty big changes both in life and in pool and things like that. I won't go into all the details. Basically, last summer and fall and winter, got really sick, finally figured out what was going on with that. Thank you, Dr. Dimwit, who I'm never ever going to go see again. I'm back playing pool regularly. Unfortunately, my Fargo took a hit. Last year at this time, it was a 650. This year at this time, as of this date right now, which is April 15th, it's tax day. Hopefully you have your taxes done. I did mine today, and I'm not really happy about it, but I am now a 601. I just did pretty well in a tournament. We'll see what happens there. But ended up making some big pool changes as far as where I play. I caught my yearly sinus chest infection and all of a sudden realized that the place that I was playing was making me sick. Not going to go and name names here. Everyone knows where it is. I've named where I'm going, where I played before on the channel. I'm not going to really badmouth them here. I do know that they have no intentions of fixing the problems. They don't even want to acknowledge the problems that they have. But let's say mold and dust are not really good if you have mold and dust allergies, especially with asthma like I do. So I will not be playing at those places. I dropped out of my leagues, or that place. I will not be playing there anymore. I'm looking for other homes for leagues and tournaments. And actually, I'm not going to do a set league in the spring. I did sign up for a summer league that starts here in about a month and a half, which is really just to get a number of weeks in to be sanctioned for things. But so let's go back. End of March was the WSPA, Wisconsin State Pool Association state championships. I was recruited by a good friend of mine, Bridge, to play in a 5-man team in the AA and Master Division. I am a AA right now. This is only my second year playing in state, but I've been struggling with 8-ball, and I was struggling with decisions and staying focused and getting down on myself for missing. I was like, if the game was to run 7 balls and hook yourself on the 8, I would win the national world championship award for that. So I decided to do some ghost matches on the night. This was the March 27th, the night, I think 27th. Yes. The night before I went to state. Let's head over there and I'll go over the rules and everything and we'll get started. All right, 8-ball versus the Ghost. I break. I get ball in hand after the break. If I run out and make the 8-ball, I win. If I miss or scratch or anything like that, I lose. I was a 615 right before state. Played in a tournament at the Carom Room in Beloit. Did not do well at all. Went 2 and out in 10-ball. And had 2 matches that I should have beat. One against the 681, one against the 565 maybe. But this is 8-ball. This is what state is. I'm looking at stripes here. I'm looking at how to get the 8-ball out. And I'm just going to play this with a stop shot. Or not a stop shot, a slight follow shot and bump the 8-ball past the 13 and 12, somewhere out here. That's going to work perfectly. I have a shot. I had either the 9-ball or the 12 or maybe even the 10 as insurance. Now it should be a matter of just taking my time, paying attention, going down for the 10. I'll probably come out one rail here for either the 9 or this 11. Kind of looking at angles here. Probably going to take a little bit extra time than you've seen, just because I know I'm not playing well and I need to get back into form here. Decided to come up for the 11, that's fine. From here, I could stick right here. I could come one rail above it for either the 14-9 or the 13. Just kind of depends on what mood I'm in. It's a great and frustrating thing about 8-ball is there's always more than one choice. I might be just drawing this straight back as well. We'll see what I do here. Yep. If I have enough angle for the 13, pop it off the rail and then go 14, 9, 8. Looking at my notes here. I did have a number of other matches recorded And based on how bad I was playing, I kind of rage quit the camera and deleted all files off of it. At the time, nothing was really interesting. Unless you want to watch me miss a bunch of shots, if that's interesting to you. That's not interesting to me. Now, I don't want to put videos on here where I just win all the time. In fact, the one I have on my new camera, which should be coming out soon, that was dangerous. Hang on, let me rewind this and see what I just did. What I wanted to do is I want to draw one rail and out and basically come up the same angle. Let's see if I drop my elbow or raise my elbow or something. Drop my elbow a little bit, but I was kind of pokey on that, and that because of that, it came way down here into the 4. That's dangerous because it's really easy to get hooked onto the 4. And one of the things that my note here is that I was having a lot of issues with over and under hitting balls. In fact, my first match against the 681 and 10 ball, in like the second, we were trading racks back and forth, and like the second or third rack, I overhit a ball, and then for the rest of the match, I underhit everything because I was worried about overhitting things. But we'll see what happens here. It looks like I'm going to be out on the 8 here. Take my time. Go through my shooting routine, which I have a video, I promise, one of these months that I will do. So I'm up 1-0. This is going to be a race to 7. I'm not spotting the ghosts. Take a look at this video up here for when I did spot the ghost and for some reason decided that was a good idea. Break I've been struggling with, which has pretty much been a theme on this channel since the inception. I've been going back to the head ball break. Especially on a 7-foot table, 7-foot diamonds, and mine is an 8-foot, but it's very close. Head ball break works really well, but if you don't hit that ball square, you're going to scratch on the side like I just did. My phone is going nuts. I need to see what is going on here and who it is. Oh, there's great news. My Wisconsin tax return has been accepted, and you guys are going to wait a couple months for your check, so... But I filed on time. So here I'm looking at what to do with this mess of the 711 as well as the 513. Now the 513 is not a big issue because I can use the 14 to break it out, or I can get here and play this, but I have to get this 11 out, and oh boy, look at that. I thought I was going to hit more into it and be able to shoot like the 14, or at worst have it float up here and have to shoot the 15 or the 9. Instead, I'm way down here. The only real shot I have is the 10. Now you may say, well, why don't you shoot the 9? Or the 11, I should say. It looks like I'm doing something else. Let me pause it here for a second. When I first looked at this, I thought I would have to shoot the 10 here, because if you shoot the 11, the cue ball is just going to go straight. And unless you put a lot on it, you got to go here and out and either shoot this gap between the 3, 7, or even further to get somewhere else. But it looks like I'm going to bank or cut the 9 here. I don't know. I won't pause it as much. Problem is that this was a couple of weeks ago and I do not remember a lot of this match. I did cut the 9. I got dangerously close to almost scratching off the 11. If I hit the right side or the left side of the 11, it could have scratched easily. And I'm scrambling, and this is not a good way to control your run. It looks like I'm cutting this here and having the cue ball go into the 13. This is dangerous too, because if I go under the 13 like that, I could have hit off the bottom of the 5 and just scratched really easily. But I happen to break the 5 out, and now I'm looking really good. Here I can use the 7 to stop the cue ball. I don't really like hitting balls when you are playing 8 ball, or any game for that matter, but the 7 is a stopper and it doesn't change anything in my run. Like if it were 9 ball, and sorry for keeping the mark on the screen. If it were 9 ball or 10 ball, and I'm hitting a ball, then I'm moving it, and then I have to change my patterns on my shot selection. But in this case, the 7 moving here or here or here or wherever doesn't affect anything at all. What I need to worry about is getting on the 8 ball, but the 15 with almost a stop shot, just a little bit of draw, does it pretty well. I like the 10, getting that out of the way before the 14, because otherwise you have to land perfect on the 10 to get perfect on the 15. If I just play this with a straight draw, maybe a touch of right spin, I can come straight off the rail, and this is what I've been doing in my games. Hit that a little too hard, didn't watch the angle, figured I'd be coming down here, didn't hit it right. And now I very quickly put together my break cue, or my jump cue, and this is a extremely low percentage jump to make, but even lower percentage to somehow get. And yeah, I made it, but I tagged the 3 first, trying to get a shot on the 14. Now I'm actually going to look at this and take the shot in the 14 because it was another jump shot, and I ended up hitting it but not making it, so that doesn't really matter anyway. So the ghost is tied now. We're at 1-1. So you notice I did 2 head ball breaks. I scratched on the second one, and I immediately went to the second ball break and made a ball. Not really the ball I wanted to make. I'm trying to make, if I'm breaking, where did I break from? Over here. I'm trying to make this corner ball here in that pocket. If I break from over here, I'm trying to get that corner ball in this pocket. It's more of a natural angle on a 7-foot table. It's less of a natural angle on an 8-foot table. But with spin and angle of the hit and things like that, you can get by that. So this is a decent break. All I need to do is get this 3-ball out of here, and because I'm playing the ghost, I get ball in hand every match, every game, every shot. Not every shot, every game. And because of that, I got that 3-ball out of there right away. Everything else is pretty wide open. Probably going to go 5-1. Might leave the 2 for the key ball on the 8. But I have to somehow get on the 4, and I need to get over here or down here somewhere for the 4. I don't think I should hold this for the 2 in the side. Instead, I tried to go back and forth for the 2 in the side, and I missed the 1. This is what happens when you're struggling. There's just one little mistake in a rack that you make, and it can throw the whole thing off kilter. Speaking of off kilter, I'm apologizing for my table being not centered down here and off a little bit. I did get a new GoPro, and I did put it up, and I did do some test videos. I think I have it leveled out pretty well. It's hard to tell because the only grid you have is on this little tiny little screen. In fact, my old GoPro is right here. This is how big a GoPro camera is, for those of you not. And this is the big screen that's on the back. But when I have it on the ceiling, I have to go behind it to be able to see, and it's hard to do that. I'm just making excuses here. Next rack. Ghost is winning 2-1. I'm taking this 1-3 combo to break out this 1 ball. Hopefully lead get out of there. Hopefully leave me a shot on the 2. I don't like where the 1 left itself, but it's my fault since I left it there. I was hoping it would go more towards just staying on the bottom rail. Now, if I'm doing 2 rails, I want to come out 1, 2, and back around almost the same spot I'm at and get the 4 or the 7 there. I don't want to be over the 14. I'm over the 14. I think I have enough to bridge for the 4. If I had enough to bridge for the 1, that would be okay. But now with the 4, I have to go into the 1. So I have to play this with follow, and I have to push the 1 here and put the cue ball down here. I decided to play it harder because I didn't know if I could control that. Knowing that I had the 5 up here is kind of my insurance ball. I'm going to be doing some back and forth in this rack. As weird as it sounds, the ideal pattern here is probably the 5, 6, 7, and then the 1. The other thing I could have done is gone forward to try to leave here for the 1, but now that I'm on the 1 here with this angle, there's no reason why I should not take this. And if I can get here, I can play the 7 and just kind of come out here for the 6. The 14 is kind of a big ball. I need to get between the 14 and the 8 somehow. And not too far that I cut off the angle with the 9, which I think I'm pretty good here. There's a couple of ways to play this. You can stun it and come just straight over, or follow it and kind of go over this way. I stunned it, played a dangerous shot because I went into the 15, into the 12 there, and the 14 is in the way, and I have to try to spin around this. The problem is because the 6 is pretty much frozen on the rail. It's really hard to spin around this ball and make it. Because if you hit the ball first, or the rail first like that, I'm sorry, it's no good. I had a great 8-ball lead, but that doesn't do me any good. I am down 3-1 in a race to 7 now. Focus is the word for this video. Focus and persist. One of the things, and I don't want to just make this story time for me. I like narrating, but I also like kind of telling what's going on. My coach is Mark Wilson out of St. Louis. Every once in a while I'll say, hey Mark, I'm struggling. What do I need to do? What can I do to get out of my own head? And he once sent me a 1-word answer saying persist. And a lot of people, if they get that from a coach, like, yeah, it doesn't mean anything. But for me, it's like, oh, that makes me think. That makes me like, what does he mean when he says persist? Well, he means don't give up. Keep working at it. Keep plugging away. Everything's going to come. And what he told me before the state tournament was focus on your shooting system. I will do a video on that, I promise. On my version of Mark Wilson's version of Jerry Bryce's version of a shooting system. And don't worry about the results. If you follow your system, you follow your methods, like here, I want to stroke through the 4-ball. I want to stop it. All I'm doing is focusing on shooting the cue straight, not even making the 4-ball. A lot of people in pool focus more on making balls than they do on this technique and how to actually make the stroke work. As long as the stroke works, as long as everything's going well, don't worry about the results. Worry about the process. And he said, and most of all, have fun. And I think I've forgotten that. It seems stupid. You put a lot of, oh boy, look at this. Almost got point hooked by this thing. A lot of people forget we're amateur pool players here. I'm not a pro. The amount of money I've spent on this cool cue I'm holding, and I will do another what's in the case video, that I'm much closer to being able to do, is worth more money than I'll make in pool this year, or by a factor of 10 maybe not that much, but I'm in it for the experience, not the making $20 here and there. So anyway, I'm back on the board. Remember persist, remember focus. Keep those two in mind, and it'll really, really help your game. You'll notice I have the little dot stickers on my table. One of the things that I find really, really helps me get zoned in is the Mighty X drill. And all that is 2 diamonds, or 1 diamond out, 2 diamonds up, which, of course, because my table's and the camera's out. And 1 diamond out, 2 diamonds up here. Make it a straight line. Straight line. Sam, keep your mouth shut. I can draw a straight line. I just can't do it with the pressure of the camera. And shoot stop shots, follow shots, and draw shots. When you shoot the stop shot, you're just trying to get no spin on the ball and just have the cue ball stop dead. When you're doing follow shots, you're trying to follow the ball in. So cue ball here, object ball here. You make the ball here and you try to follow the cue ball into the pocket, not necessarily in a curve like that. And draw shots are the hardest, especially for me. You're trying to draw all the way back into this pocket. Those are going to be the most difficult for any. Back to pool. Stripes, I made 2 on the break. Needed to clear that 1 out of the way of the 15 in case I wanted to play this here. And now, I don't want to say the rack plays itself, but it pretty much plays itself. I can do a number of things here. I can stop up for about here for the 13, or I can go all the way past the 2 for the 12. Or I can come all the way out, ignore the 2, don't even worry about it. I might have gone a little bit too far ahead there, but I wanted to make sure I didn't get stopped behind the 2 in any of these ways that could get me in trouble. going to play this with a little bit of the other right, upper left, and pull this ball here. I did not put as much of a stroke on it, which is why the angle widened out, because there was pretty much no left spin on that by the time I got to the rail. But here, it's stop, stop, 8-ball. Stop, 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 kind of. Stop with a little bit of stun follow. Stun follow is one of the shots that I'm probably weakest on. I stun, draw, and left and right are I feel very comfortable with. The follow, for some reason, I don't. Now this I would have liked to get straight in, but I can play this now in the side or the corner. Depends on how I feel. Looks like I'm going to go in the corner up here. Just kind of depends on how I feel at that moment. Hit it to the other side of the pocket, which isn't great, but it still goes in. These aren't huge pockets. They're 4.5 Diamond Pro Cuts specs. So they're going to be the same as what I play, any Diamond, pretty much any Diamond 7-footer that I'm playing on has those pockets on it. There are a couple that are coming out now with 4.25. I decided to leave mine at 4.5, mostly because I don't want to discourage my wife when she's practicing and playing on this table to not want to play pool because she can't make a ball because the pockets are too narrow. Yes, I realize you guys in England have tighter pockets. You also have smaller balls. You can interpret that however you want. Issue here is going to be the 8-ball with stripes, but if I play the 6 into the 7 and I leave the cue ball here for the 1, everything opens up then. And then if I don't get on the 1 somehow, I should have the 6 still. But I also don't have to worry about getting on the 6. Okay, I want one rail up and down. It's fine, just kind of letting the stroke out. This one, as long as I can clear the 10, I want to follow it up here for the 2 and 3. And then I want to use the 5 as my key ball for the 8. Had to punch that forward too much, and because I did miss the ball a little bit, and gave up gave the lead back to the Ghost. Still have plenty of play left in this match, though. I am not hitting the break well at all. I think the first break was okay. Second one scratched in this pocket. Third one I went to second ball break. Fourth one I don't remember. Fifth one went here, and now the sixth one went over here. Did I miss one in there? I don't know. Counting is hard. If there's no color attached to it, it's hard to count. Here, stripes or solids work. I think I like solids a little better just because I can clear the 4 ball, and then the 8 has one more pocket it can go to, but it doesn't really matter. And as long as I get down to the 3 where I don't go into the 12 and 14 and screw up the 5, I'm good there. So I'm going to probably pull this out 2 rails that way, or just 1 rail and up. 1 rail and up looks better. Yep. Now here I don't have to worry as much about the key ball on the 8, because the 8 is right in the middle of the table and has 4 pockets it can go into. I don't think it goes past down here, although maybe it does. It does not go up here. But I will have plenty of choices on what ball to get onto, how to get on the 8 ball. So right now it looks like I'm going to do the 5, maybe the 7 in the side. The 7, the side pockets on this table are very pointy and cut a little tighter than the standard diamond table. They don't really open up as much. So I think I'm deciding to use the 7 as my key ball. So I'll play the 2 and then the 1, and then I'll come over probably about here. So I'm going to play the 2, come out here, maybe not even that much, maybe over here, play the 1, just 1 rail back to here, play the 7 and just follow up down here for the 8 in the side to see how I do. Oh, and I'm ruining it already. I'm playing the 1 first. So I need to not hit these stripes and not do this. I told you I wasn't going to fast forward this or rewind it, and I lied. Get my big head out of there. Okay, we're just gonna let it play from here. So here, I don't know if I felt, all right, now that I'm out of the way, I don't know if I felt like I couldn't hold this. And that's why I shot the one first, but I needed to miss this 15 and come out here. The problem is, in order to miss the 15, I either have to put like a stun follow on it where it kind of, it holds the tangent line a little bit before it goes forward, and then the scratch is big, or I have to play it lower and that can hit the 2 ball like I did. I don't understand why I didn't play the 2 and just come out here. And as long as I'm not straight in on the 1, I can then play this here and then just come out 1 rail and back to the 7. Again, these are just with the whole not shooting well, not thinking well, not feeling well, little questions and doubts creep into your mind. So I look pretty confident on shooting the 1 ball though. And the one thing that I have to say is I will support anyone who goes confidently at a shot, because you can always, if you have a confident stroke and you play it, I had to use the word confidently, you can always fix what happens after that. If you don't play it confidently, and I don't mean get up there and go, oh, I'm a cool, tough dude and hit it 100 miles an hour, just have a good stroke. Now here I'm stuck. I don't have a shot. I'm going to try to play the 2 into the 7. You can tell based on my body language and throwing my arms up in there, I'm not going to make it. If I make it, it'll be luck here. And yeah, I hit the rail, what, here with the 7? Not close. So the Ghost is now up 5-3. We are playing a race to 7. I'm running out of chances to catch up here. Much better cue ball control. Of course, it got kicked and I scratched. So there's that. We are ice water today. So I'm looking at problems. This 7 and 14 are a bit of a problem, but not as much as this. And then kind of lump the 11 into there. But I can make the 6 from here. And I can make the 2 from here. So pattern is pretty easy here now. It's going to be getting back to the 7 to get on the 8, I believe, is what I'm going to do. So 2, I'm going to play the 6 down here with kind of a center ball with a little bit of right spin. Kind of just come out here. It would be ideal, it would be 5-4 and then 7 down back in this corner. I don't even think I put side spin, I think I just straight top. The only problem there is that I'm bridging over the 11, so I must have been leaving for the 4 on purpose. Problem here is that I have to punch out off the rail to get out for the 5, or follow it for the 7. Crushed it. I don't know why I hit it that hard. Maybe I thought I had to hit it that hard to get to the rail and out, but I have a tougher shot on the 7. I do have the 14 as kind of a stopper, but I need to, so I'm playing the 7 here. Cue ball is going to go into the 14 after it hits the 7. 14 is going to head this way. I need to make sure that it doesn't go all the way in and screw up the 8 there. So I don't want to slow roll this ball. I want to still stroke through it and get the 14 out and get the cue ball out of the way. And that's what I was worried about. It gets right in the line. Now the good thing is that I can play this like this. And I can just stay way on the other side and not have to worry about it. Yeah. Just put a bunch of spin and kind of slow drag stroke almost on that ball, just to make sure I don't get anywhere near the 14. I have plenty of angle on the 8 to not have to worry about jacking up, and I can play it forward, not scratching. And I'm 1 game behind now. It's 5-4. We can do this. I know we can. I mean, it's me, it's not you, but I think I can do it. So cue ball veered off a little bit on the to the side, but it did get kicked, but I did not scratch. Now, granted, in the ghost match it doesn't matter, but one of the things I'm practicing for is a competition where the break is going to be huge against double A master is going to be 600 and up. Fargo is it kind of upper 500s to I think the highest rated guy I played was a 728, and he was impressive, and I think he just got into the finals of the bar box or semi-pro competition, or the pro-am, or whatever they want to call it, at the Super Billiards Expo this past weekend. So here, solids look much better to me because of these two balls. I could play with ball in hand and break one out, but I kind of like not having to deal with that. The 8 is a little bit of an issue because of the 14 covers up a couple angles to get onto it. Like, I can't get on an angle to cut it down here. I have to figure out an angle to put, you know, like here or down here. Now there, I could have stopped shot of that, and I could have just had a more of a straight shot in the 7, but I want a natural angle to just float and go over here. The more I use side spin in almost every shot, I think a lot of players do, but the less side spin you play and the more natural angle, the less likely you are to miss. And we're not talking like, oh, if I have to play with the right spin, I'm going to miss 5 out of 10 times. It's more like I'll miss 5 out of 100 as opposed to missing 2 out of 100 or something like that. Probably maybe 10 out of 100 versus 5 out of 100. There's always that chance. But taking the percentages, if you have any chance to make it easy and make it easier 3% on yourself, definitely take it. Now here I'm going to play this with a lot of right spin because I want to hold the angle and bring the cue ball straight back up, which I almost didn't do. I almost got behind the 9 ball here. And now I'm kind of stuck with an angle. I think I'm getting the bridge. Adding a lot of variables to this shot. Now, if I wasn't cueing off funny, I could play this straight up and down with a little bit of inside, which is left at this point. But I decided just to play it hard and go into... Now, I wasn't necessarily planning on going into the 8 for the perfect shot right up in the corner. I was hoping to just break it out and get a shot. It was a little bit of a hope and pray shot, but I knew where the cue ball was going. I like I said, I wasn't expecting it to be this perfect. Things could have gotten very wrong here. But I'll take this, and we're tied back up at 5. Race to 2 for all the marbles, although I do not have marbles. And I've never played for marbles before. I have lost a few over the years. Yeah, that's not a good break stroke. I have been working on it a lot. It got better at state. In fact, out of all the matches I had, so I played 15 actual matches and how many ever countless warm-up games. I think I only had one game in a match I didn't make a ball in the break, and I believe that was a second ball break. And in practice, I don't remember not making a ball in the break. Breaking just was working really well that weekend. So focus. The key word for this video is focus and persist. The 2 words are focus and persist. Actually, I think my plan was, and I'm looking at my notes here, and if I didn't finish writing it, I think this video is supposed to be persist, and the next video is supposed to be focus. But since I'm completely out of focus right now, I don't remember which is which. Now, that was weird. I don't know what I was doing. I could have played that ball. I think I was worried about getting caught in the 1 if I played forward. So I'm looking at this and like, what shot do you see? Bank the 14 cross side. That's a really low percentage shot in a ghost match. I cannot see the 12 to make it. I cannot see the 10 to cut it in the side. But hey, if you look, and I can't do this, I can't tilt the video. The 10 actually does go. Kind of spoiler alert. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I was thinking about maybe jumping the 10 and playing the 12, but that's a huge scratch in the side. And then I looked at it and I'm like, wow, This looks like it goes. All I have to do is play this ball. I don't have to play any position because I have the 14 or the 12. And I got even better on it than I needed to because I bumped 8 out of the way, and now I can make all 3 balls. I'm shaking my head because I don't know how I got there. This was not a good plan. Now I can just stop on the 11. Get really, really sloppy on making the ball. I would say stop on this, but I don't want to be bridging over the 8, so I'm going to follow it and pop out a little bit. Or just stun it down and have it just follow down here. Or just draw it back and have it do that. I would have liked to have been a little bit further over if I did this one, because then I can just draw it straight up the rail. The other way is I would have had to kind of go around, which isn't bad, but there's still balls in the way to... This one I just straight up. I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm definitely good to not have to bridge over the 3 ball. I have a straight and 8 ball. And this is where the focus comes in. In these shots, make sure aim is lined up, do everything. I dropped the cue off my thumb in the bridge when I was bridging, and it almost just smacked the cue ball or the 3 ball or both. So that's why I kind of walked away there for a second. Get everything lined up, and all you should focus about is shooting the cue stick straight forward. Still went to the side of the pocket, but for the first time in this match, except for maybe game 1, I am in the lead and I'm on the hill now. And again, a terrible break. I'm making all sorts of balls on the break here, but this doesn't do me any good. If I'm at state and I'm playing a guy who's 728, there's a good chance he's getting out here. In fact, there were a couple of times where that guy against, because there's five players on a team, we all kind of play, we don't play each other exactly once, but it goes to the rotation in a race to 13, and he played 3, 4, 5 games, whatever it was. He got himself out of line a couple times and got back in the line with amazing recovery shots. So here I'm looking at stripes because I like where the 8 ball is and these 2 stripes better than taking solids. I'm just going to follow this up maybe here, off the rail, come out. Almost got too low on it, because now when I play the 9 here, I'm flirting with the 2 ball. I don't think I want to go into the 2. I might have to. Yeah. That was dangerous because if I hit exactly the backside of the 2 and the 2 goes this way, I could be almost snookered on everything. So here I'm just taking my time. I need to figure out how to get from the 15 either the 11 or the 13 with being able to reach it, because the 8 ball is big there. I think I'm just going to draw straight back. I didn't really mean to hit the 8. I just wanted to get out of the way of it, and now I'm looking at the angle of the 11 on the side so I can play the 13 up here. This is a shot I've really struggled with under hitting and decelerating the stroke, and there's a giant window where the 8 blocks off the ball that if I get anywhere in there, I probably won't be able to see it. And I think this is why I'm taking my time. The other thing is I could go around, but I'm adding more distance to it. So I did. I came all the way around. I didn't like the angle on the side. I'm a little bit too far, but I'm not on the 1 ball, and I still have a way to make this and come over for the 8. Now, 8 ball can go a number of ways. If it goes in the side here, I can just stun over here and let it float over there. Otherwise, I can just pull the cue ball back over here. That requires a good stroke. That requires persistence and focus to not screw this up. A little bit of lower outside, which in this case is left. And I actually underhit that a little bit. I'm still going to be fine here. Ideal angle would have been, of course, there for a straight-in shot on the 8 ball, but I think I can do this. I should be able to do this 9 out of 10 times, 9 out of 20, 19 out of 20. But I did it. I beat the ghost. give the thumbs up, update the scoreboard. And there we have it. I beat the Ghost 7-5. Now, if you paid attention to the scoring there, I was down 5-3 and ran 4 in a row. They weren't pretty, but the keyword here, persist, and also focus. Also, the next video, I've already spoiled this. I've done another Ghost video this day. I don't know if I'm going to narrate it tonight or if I'm going to wait until a few days from now to narrate it. But if you see me in this shirt, that means I narrated it the same night. And if I remember to go back, I might put a link to this one. Otherwise, look for the set number 2 from March 27th, 2025. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm getting sick of 8-ball. There's been a lot of 8-ball lately, and I'm going to move on to something else. But there's going to be at least one more 8-ball video from this year. I still have another dozen from last year or so that I have to go through slowly but surely. But in the meantime, do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe. I haven't been begging people to subscribe anymore because it didn't work. I've been stuck at 227, going up and down 1 or 2. I don't think I went to 228 yet, but I've been down to 225 and back up and back down and back up. So whatever bot is out there, like unsubbing and resubbing, they can stop it. But I hope to hit 500 by the end of the year, which should be an easy goal if this thing blows up and if I keep updating and doing videos. But in the meantime, have yourselves an amazing day, and we'll see you on the next video.